If you think wild boars are just cute animals, think again. And if you ever believed trapping them was an easy job, this story will make your heart race with every beat. Hit the like button and subscribe now, because where we're about to take you, there are no second chances, just you and whatever's moving in the dark. Wild boars, call them what you will, are fast becoming one of the most devastating threats creeping through forests and farmlands across both the US and Europe. They're not harmless wildlife. They're walking bulldozers, tearing up everything in their path, and when threatened, they can kill. Each year, wild boars cause more than $2.5 billion in damages to the agricultural industry. Not just millions, but billions lost due to destroyed crops, ruined irrigation systems, threats to native wildlife. And in some heartbreaking cases, attacks on humans. In Madison, a low-lying area of Mississippi that had just been ravaged by a violent tornado, homes were leveled, trees torn down, roads turned to mud, and power completely wiped out. But what pushed this region beyond its limits wasn't the rain or the wind. It was what came after, a surge of wild boars, millions of them, flooding in during the night. They were drawn by the scent of freshly upturned soil and wide open fields, now left unprotected without fences. Not just with old school skills, but with modern technology too. Some teams use smart traps, equipped with infrared cameras and motion sensors, directly connected to a smartphone. Once the system detects enough targets, a single tap triggers the trap to slam shut. But technology doesn't always work. After the storm, signals are spotty. Many teams are forced to fall back on the most primitive tools: fermented corn, sharpened wooden stakes, ropes, and raw survival instincts. The bait is corn that has been fermented over several days. It has a strong, sour smell and a thick, mushy texture.
So yesterday, you put out how many pounds?
With a scent that can carry for hundreds of meters in humid air. But it can't be placed just anywhere. Hunters must observe tracks, rooting marks, and movement through the underbrush, often for 3 to 5 days before choosing the exact spot to set the trap. The ground at that time was as soft as wet dough. One wrong step could sink a person entirely. That's why each trap had to be secured with wooden stakes over a meter long, or steel frames tightly bound to large tree trunks with rope. No digital tech, just instinct and survival. One night, in the howling rain and screaming wind, the herd arrived hours earlier than expected, larger, louder, and more aggressive.
We got a load of them in here. Just give me just a second and I'll
One of the main stakes was torn from the ground. The entire trap tilted. Then a massive sow, big as a refrigerator, rammed through the fence, dragging the whole herd in behind her.
Easy, son, easy. Yep. Yep. Turn around, hell.
They didn't run. They headed straight for the camp. In the darkness, flashlights dropped, boots slipped, sticks swung wildly. Sparks lit up the animal's eyes. A loud explosion echoed. And in that moment, humans weren't attacking. They were defending, fighting to reclaim the fragile line between survival and being wiped out. At dawn the next day, they returned to the scene. Footprints deeper than a hand's length were etched into the mud. Trees had been gnawed ragged. The trap was overturned, its steel frame twisted. They realized one thing. The wild boars weren't just destroying, they were scouting.
Here. A little turn like a
After the incident, everything changed. The number of guards doubled. Shifts were rotated every 3 hours.
Boar ain't in here. I didn't think he was. He comes pretty early and leaves pretty early, so easy, son, easy.
Drones patrolled the area continuously. Traps were fitted with GPS chips. A vibration-triggered alarm system was installed around the camp. Every new trap had to be tested first on smaller groups of a few dozen boars before being deployed against the larger herds. And the final lesson, the most sobering warning of all: wild boars don't fear traps. They only fear humans with resolve. So if it were you, what would you choose? A narrow, sturdy trap that's easy to control? Or a larger, more ambitious setup, one that's far more vulnerable when things start to go off course? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Who knows, a small suggestion might just save an entire harvest. If your heart started racing, give this video a like to help keep the series alive. Subscribe to the channel to catch the next wild encounters.